I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. I woke up today not in the greatest of moods, but I needed to record this video for you, so I'm doing it. So my brain is all over the place, and this might not make sense. But I'm doing it because these thoughts are in my head today, and I need to get them out. So, anyway. Okay. Lubricate the vocal cords. Because public speaking and calm. I got a haircut. Do you like it? Do we like it? My hairstylist watches and says that the light is giving the illusion that I'm balding, and it's not. So we should cut it different. Thank you, Chai. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is another glorious Friday morning. I hope that you have had a great week, that you have positively impacted someone in your life. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with me, hang out, listen to what I have to say, hopefully soak it in, digest it, and go off into the world with a new perspective, or at least a new thought. If you have been following along since the second video when I started doing these topics, we have reached the apex of those 4 videos, which is self-growth. I have set up my channel to take you on the same journey that I went on to get to where I am today. So while the first 4 videos might seem boring and like I'm not really saying anything, kind of maybe, or it just seems very juvenile, those 4 first elements were huge for me in my self-discovery, in my self-growth, in my beginning of a new chapter in my life. Because without self-growth, you don't have self-awareness, and if you don't have self-awareness, you can't have social awareness to then provoke change or to just better yourself in your social awareness. And the end result of this channel is to be talking about social awareness and social issue topics. And so I want to take you all on the same journey that I went to be here, trying to be a socially aware person and do things to create spaces for marginalized people to be heard or seen. And that is the end goal. We have reached the first peak. We've reached the summit. That's where we've reached. We are at the summit, about to start the climb. So, usually this is the part of the show where I chuck up a little definition and we talk about what a word means. But self-growth is not one of those kind of words. Self-growth can mean so many things for so many different people. The act or process of improving one's self by one's own actions. That really just means self-awareness. Self-growth, self-awareness. They are really just one and the same. So for me, for my growth, for my process, it required my self-awareness around self-doubt, insecurities, perspective, and my conditioning, because all of those things formulated the person that I was at that time. So the next step was to identify those things, figure out their roots, and move forward. So here we are, we're moving forward. Most people, I've noticed, sometimes interpret self-growth as this negative thing, like,
oh, you've changed, oh, you're different.
And in reality, that's kind of the point that you want to have happen, because inevitably you are going to grow past people in your life. And if you're afraid to grow past people simply because of losing them, you could be stifling your own self-growth and becoming the best version of you that you can be. Now, that is not saying that you're better than someone or that you're elevated in some position over someone. That is just simply saying that person's chapter in your life is over with. I've had many a fair weather friend, mostly because of my own damage. The people that were in my life, for the small moments that they were, played a huge role in my self-growth, because even though they didn't stick around for the long outcome of what it was that I was supposed to be, they gave me small life lessons in those moments to reflect on, to challenge me, to push past and grow through to who I am today. Once I was able to identify the pattern that I kept putting myself in, which was putting myself into an environment that didn't give me what I was looking for at the time, in an environment that continued to perpetuate the unhealthy cycle that I was living in. It required me removing myself from that. And I lost a lot of friends in doing that because they weren't actually friends. Whole nother video soon to come. I lost all of them because they weren't a part of the journey that I was supposed to go on. They weren't supposed to grow with me. They weren't supposed to move through this chapter of my life. It was very lonely to go through that, but I needed to do it because in pulling out and removing myself from that unhealthy environment, I was able to grow. I was able to identify all of the things that put me into that situation from my childhood and from early on in my life, and I was able to turn that page to do the self-growth. It's gross, it's ugly, it can take a lot sometimes, but if you want to grow, you got to get uncomfortable, baby. So get uncomfortable. Okay? You're going to be wherever you are at in life. It is going to take you getting uncomfortable to change your circumstances, change yourself if you are wanting to grow. If you don't want to grow and you're content where you at, baby, fine. Stay there. Do that. But for those of you that aren't, that are wanting some change, you've got to get uncomfortable. I hope this has all been helpful, that is brought all of the first videos together. I didn't even talk about me getting away from E and leaving E and moving past that and like all the things. Getting a different job, getting away from a drug addict boss, like so many things. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you have a great weekend. Be good and do good. Like, subscribe. Go out and be great. That was like a really good stream of consciousness. Listen to the song here in my heart.